Okay, let me try and explain my science experiment. In the beginning of what I originally wanted to do, it was going to be a little bit more complex, I guess. And then my friend, who does a lot of science and everything, he works in a lab and everything for Gilead. He had told me, okay, well, why don't we just do an experiment testing the physics problem of mass on an incline? So we ended up doing that. We took down all the measurements that we could for the experiment itself. I was on my mountain bike and we were testing that kind of at an angle. So we had like rough estimates for all the numbers and everything that we were measuring. In the end, we ended up calculating on paper that from resting we'd go down at a 12-degree incline for 40 feet. Counting with friction should take us about 2.6 seconds to reach our end goal down the hill for the incline. Some errors that we had that we did not really factor in too much was, granted, the elevation we were at, because we're up in Tahoe, is pretty high. And also the distance wasn't quite as accurate as we would have liked. And then the friction estimates were based on some tire pressures that we looked up online and kind of gauged what would probably be the closest to get our numbers right for how long it took. When we did it in person, we ended up finding that it took about 4.3 seconds to go about 40 feet. So on paper, theoretically, it's faster, but given the terrain and everything, we found that it's going to be slower to make up for that difference. And that's what we ended up doing our science project on. I'm not much of a physics guy, but my other friend was just kind of told me this will be a little bit easier than what you're doing. And I'm like, okay, Mr. Scientist.